In today's episode, we're going to talk about how we break in our new motor. Buddy and I just mounted a brand new Yamaha 115. A little upgrade, a big upgrade actually, from my 70 horsepower. So for all of you guys who've been on the boat or in our other episodes, we had a 70 4-stroke Yamaha, and I decided to upgrade. I had a buyer for my 70, so I figured out it's a good time to upgrade. I've been wanting to upgrade, but it's a great time. So we got this thing shipped in. My buddy and I mounted it yesterday. Put in some nice 5200. Need to trim that. It looks a little. And some stainless screws. We didn't go with the stock screws because stock screws are galvanized and they're known to rust. So decided to go with stainless. We'll show you guys how to break in a brand new motor. So this is gonna be my second motor on this same boat. It's gonna be a big upgrade. I'm sure it's gonna fly, but mainly just want to get in some break-in hours today. So let's do this. Let's go. One thing I did want to mention is when you first get your motor in the crate or you get it delivered, there is no oil in it, so you want to make sure you add oil to it. Refer to your operator's manual for the specific amount of oil and a particular type. I personally use Yamaha 1030 oil for 4-stroke motors. I'm a believer in Yamaha products, so stick with the good stuff. So we're here at the gas station. Obviously when we break in this motor, like I'm going to talk about in a little bit, we're going to require low RPMs for a certain amount of time, and we're definitely going to do some fishing in between. So wrap the rods and let's get some gas. So we're here at the dock now, and got the boat on the water. We're going to give this guy his first crank. Let's see what happens here. So now that we got oil in there, got some fuel to go, it's time to crank this guy up. Here we go. First crank. All right, we're good. Let it warm up. So we're going over the procedures for the first hour. We need to keep the RPMs below 2000 or 2500 RPMs, and then as we exceed the first hour, the second hour after that, we can bump it up. You want to play with the throttle, but you can't stay at full throttle for no more than 5 minutes. You can do that for the next 8 hours. So once it hits the 10-hour mark, we're technically at the halfway point for its maintenance. So once we hit 20 hours, we're gonna have to drain the oil. So let's go work on the first 2 hours right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually idle out for the first like 30 minutes and just let the pistons sink and, you know, work its way and lubricate. Well, it's a brand new motor, so you really want to be very critical when you're breaking into this motor. All right, let's get to the first hour. The thing that we found out that was a kind of a surprise for us was I didn't change the controls of the tachometers. So if you look at the tachometer, it's actually reading the same hours as my old motor. I did some research because we were kind of puzzled why. Usually it'll read from the ECM computer of the exact hours. So we did research on this particular model of tachometer, and it doesn't read from the motor. It has an internal clock in the tach, and it's not resettable. So the only way to reset it is to get a new tach, which is, it's just so messed up because the tach still works. But I'm gonna get a new tach just so I have a peace of mind and I can really keep track of it throughout the lifespan of this motor. I don't plan on changing out the motor for a while, so I think it's a good idea to do that. So until then, I'm just going to keep track of the hours as I go along until I get it on Monday, which is tomorrow. So it should be easy to keep track, just a few hours here and there. Just a little tip. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of fishing right now while we're letting this motor break in. It took me about 15 or 20 minutes just to get out of this marina. So I'm gonna drop a jig and just kind of get a little 30 minutes just to be on the safe side, and then we're just gonna troll for the rest of the break-in period for that first hour break-in. All right, let's get the jigs going. Okay, so we're gonna run the RPM to about 2,500. Running out some lines right now. See if we can catch a fish while we're at it. So far, engine's running really smooth. We have no issues. I did the 30-minute like idle, really low RPM, did a little bit jigging. So let's see if we can catch a fish while we're breaking in this motor. The 1 hour mark right now. So what I'm going to do as we make it into the second hour mark is I'm going to bring it up to a plane and then back it down and just keep it there for a little bit. This second hour is kind of crucial. You want to be like varying the throttle speed to help sync the rings, the piston rings. Well, let's see how this goes. I forgot to mention, avoid any full throttle within the second hour. You want to wait till after the second hour, and you can full throttle, but no more than 5 minutes. So just bring it up and bring it down. But this is after the second hour. All right, that's about a plane, right about there, then back down. Wow, so that's like 3,100 RPM right there. 3,000 and I'm 31. I'm about a plane right now. I gotta bring in that lure because that lure doesn't like that speed. Stand by. Fluctuate the RPMs, get this motor to sync the rings really well. The break-in, one solid break-in. A good break-in is very crucial. It'll make the motor last a lot longer. So don't neglect this part. Remember, your motor is your life out there. Without your motor, you ain't coming back. Take care of your motor, and choose a good one like Yamaha. Right there. Quality and prove it. Very reliable on the water. Just exceeded the 2 hour mark. I dropped the bimini top because I do want to see what kind of performance this thing can do now. You got to run them at variable speeds for the next 8 hours, so that'll give us a total of 10 hour break-in. The next 8 hours you want to vary the speed as well. Just avoid full throttle, wide open throttle, no more than 5 minutes. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to try and open it up a little bit. See what this thing has. I'm going to gradually increase the RPMs. RPM, 24 knots. Pretty fast. By the water splashing way back here. Where I'm standing, I'm not in the water. The boat is not touching the water where I'm standing. Woo. far, pretty satisfied. Performs really well. Got to finish the 10-hour break-in, and then we're going to dump the oil, put in some fresh oil, a new oil filter, inspect the lower unit oil for any kind of black or milkiness or metal shavings, and that should be good. Keep up with the maintenance. Every 100-hour service, drop the oil, change them out. There's some Yamaha lube in there. Yep, maintenance matters. Take care of your motor, people. It'll take care of you. Can't end the day yet until we do our good deed for the day. Found some trash floating. Capri Sun unopened. Come on, people. If you don't like a Capri Sun, throw them in the trash. Don't throw them in the ocean, huh? Have some respect for Mother Nature. Good deed for the day. Hope you guys can carry that message on with yourself. And if you're out in the ocean, you see some rubbish, pick them up, throw them in the boat, take it home and dump it in your own trash. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We're just changing up the content here. Pretty fun so far, enjoying the YouTube thing. Still doing the editing, so bear with me, but kind of enjoying it. It's gonna be a lot of fishing, cooking content, so stay tuned.